What if you can break down luck mathematically? Hi, my name is Black Isco and I am a hip hop finance professional. Now, there is this sentiment that successful people tend to downplay the role of luck in their success story. And I'm looking at this from both sides. The person who's on the outside looking in may see someone who's successful and say, yeah, you got that through luck. You got that lucky break right over here, and point to an actual situation where, yes, there may have been factors at play that were outside of the control of the successful person, right? Now, if you're on the other side, if you are on the inside looking out, and you're the one who's been there like, man, I've put my blood, sweat, and tears into gaining this skill set. I've put my own personal finances and freedom on the line to make these investments, and they paid off. I mean, this is all me, bro. So who do we trust in this situation? Is it the person on the outside looking in or the inside looking out? Truth is, there could be truth to both perspectives, right? If you're the one who was sweating, bleeding, crying, you might not see the luck, even if it may have been present. And then if you are on the outside looking in, all you may see is the luck. But I think the truth is probably somewhere in between. But it made me think of this question. Is it possible to create your own luck? What made me think of this is a lot of the luckiest people I know tend to be the people who work the hardest and also put themselves out there the most. And it's those two things combined. They are very outgoing and they're also very hardworking. So, if you are that type of person, are you creating your own luck? Well, let's find out. First of all, what is luck? I am a firm believer in words having power. In the beginning was the Word and the Word was God. So that's where the idea comes from. But to understand the power of a word, to understand its capacity, I believe you have to understand what the word means. So what does luck mean? If you look into an Oxford or Cambridge dictionary, they'll tell you that it is something that comes from chance or an opportunity that isn't down to effort or skill or the ability of a person, just success that comes randomly. But what is the etymology of the word? I believe you have to know where the word actually comes from for you to understand it. So luck comes from a Germanic word, geluk. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation there, but it comes from geluk, which means fortune. Now, what does fortune mean? Fortune comes from Latin, and fortune means strong chance. Comes from the word forte. So it's a strong chance or a good chance of something. So how do you create a good chance or a strong chance? Now this is where it gets interesting. So this is the way that I would describe luck. Luck is a moment in which you are presented with a desired opportunity that you are able to capitalize on. So three parts. There's a moment, there's a desired opportunity, and you are able to take advantage of it. So let's say you're a striker playing football and your opposition defense misplaces a pass, it gets in your path, you're able to meet it, run past the other defenders, and convert a goal. So what happens there? The opportunity presents itself in the opponent misplacing a pass, but you have to be able to make the run, so you have to have the legs to do it. Then you have to have the technique to trap the ball, and then of course the skill and technique to convert it into a goal, to shoot past the goalkeeper. So what part there is the luck? I would say all of it is. Luck is if you break it down mathematically, it is preparation times opportunity. So there is the skill, the ability, the technique, the body of work that you have, the learning, all that goes into your side of things, the preparation. And then there is the opportunity that presents itself, the ball that spills in front of you. But you still need to be fast enough to get to the ball. You need to be fast enough to dribble past the defenders, fast and skilled to dribble past them. You need the technique to convert into a goal. So there's you needing to be ready, and there's also the opportunity that presents itself when it comes. So how do you make yourself more lucky? Is it possible to do so? Well, if we have these variables, these factors in a maths equation, all you have to do is influence the factors, and then you can influence the outcome, or what is on the other side of the equal sign. So let's break it down the way we would an equation. We have luck is equal to preparation times opportunity. Preparation, what goes into preparation? That is your skill set, your ability to learn or adapt on the fly, and your body of work. So let's try look at that the same way we would physics. You've got your skill set, that will be your mass, because the more skills you add on, the greater your gravitas in a sense. And your ability to learn and adapt is like acceleration. The faster you're able to learn, the faster you can get somewhere. And then we have body of work. Body of work being the things that you have done before. That is like distance, and that is something like leverage. In physics it would be leverage, because you've got like a lever, a distance away from where you're, a distance or force applied at a distance, and that creates leverage, right? So in business you also have leverage. You have leverage with a great body of work or a reputation that you come in with. So your brand and your body of work, your previous work, tends to act as leverage. So we have mass, acceleration, and distance. So you can look at your skill set and your ability to learn, like mass times acceleration, which is force, and then you've got your body of work, which is leverage. Force times mass times distance, that is the torque equation, and it is your force with leverage. So that is the, what is it? The preparation side of things. Then we've got opportunity. What is opportunity? It is being in the right place at the right time. So our variables or our inputs in that equation are time and space and time, place and time, right? So space and time. Now if you look at that in terms of physics, what are we thinking of? If you have a place and a time where opportunities are present, and you've got your leverage and your force, which is your preparation. If you are prepared and in the right place at the right time, that is your luck. So how do we control being in the right place at the right time? If we go back to a striker, what does a striker do? All the best strikers, one of their greatest assets is positioning, knowing where to be, when to be there. And let's just look at another example. If you were car spotting, where is the best place to spot a car? By the road, right? You're not gonna spot any cars if you stay at home. Now, which road? If you go to an empty country road in the middle of the morning, well, early morning, let's say like 3 a.m. I meant to say middle of the night, middle of the morning, ended up. Anyway, 3 a.m. you go to a country road. Are you gonna spot any cars? Maybe a couple, but what about rush hour on the highway? You're more likely to spot the car that you're looking for at rush hour on the highway. What if you do that once a week? Okay, maybe you'll spot the car, but let's say you now go rush hour Monday to Friday. Every day you go. What's happening then? So you're more likely, if you are in the right place at the right time multiple times, you increase the likelihood that you are there at the right time. If you go there at the moment of the highest frequency, the moment of the highest traffic with increased frequency, right place during the greatest moments of traffic with the right frequency, you increase your chances of running into that opportunity. So you're talking about space times frequency. That would be the opportunity side. So we've got space, r squared, and frequency, which is the F right there. So if you were to look at it like from a physics perspective, luck would be mass times acceleration times distance times r squared times frequency. So r squared being space. So your mass, your skill set, acceleration, your adaptability or willingness to learn or speed at which you learn, and distance being your body of work, all that preparation times the space and frequency. So if you are someone who has a great body of work, a great skill set, you're willing to learn and you have that ability to learn quickly, and you go to the right place at the right time and you go there frequently, you are able to create your own luck. So if you're someone who is outgoing, this is why I say like the most outgoing people, who also happen to be the hardest working people I know, tend to be the luckiest because they put themselves out there. If you are able to put yourself out there in a space where your skill set, your knowledge, your adaptability, your body of work is appreciated. So if you're in the right economy or the right industry, and then you go out and network with people in that industry, and you're going to the right clubs, you are going to the right events, you sign up to the right charities, you're putting yourself in spaces where like-minded people who have the opportunities that you want will be. So they're going to be in those spaces. If you put yourself in those spaces with the qualities that you come with, you can create your own luck. So in summary, creating luck is sort of like this. If you are able to make yourself comfortable in spaces that most people wouldn't even dare to be, you can create your own luck.